Hi everyone. So today we are going to see that how can we create a table using a manual method. So we can see that we have a data in the data line itself. So we'll try to get the data into a SAS table. So first we will see that how can we create a data set, how can we start it. So first we have to give a table name. So we are starting it from data. That means it's a syntax to give the name of a table. So we have given the name of a table as a star, and then we will close it with semicolon. So there are some rules that we need to follow to write that name. So first rule is that we cannot start the table name with a number. Second rule, we cannot start it with special character. Third, the name cannot have any spaces. Fourth, it cannot longer than 32 characters. So keeping all these rules in our mind will create the variable name now. So when I'm saying the variable name, so that means we need to define the column name. And to define the column name, we'll start it from input statement. So input statement help us to create the variable name. So we can see that we have a four variable over here, and how we have decided these four variables by looking at the data itself. So we can see that we have a four columns, and we'll define it the last name, first name, job title and salary, and then we will close it with semicolon. We have to keep the data type also in our mind. So we can see that we have put the dollar sign to define the data type of our data. So in SAS we have only two data types. One is numeric, another is character. So we have put the dollar sign just followed by the variable name. So we can see that first variable is our character, second variable is also character, third is character, but fourth is numeric variable. So that is the reason we have put the dollar sign in front of first variable, second variable, third variable, but not in front of fourth variable. And then we'll write the data lines. So it signifies that we are using the manual method and we put the data on our screen itself. So after putting the data, we'll close it with semicolon, and then we will write run, and again we'll close it with semicolons. So now we are done with our one data step. So the step which is starting from data and ends at run, it is basically a data step. Now we are ready to run it, and now we can create a table. So to run this data set, we'll use the short command F3, or we can also use this running man to execute that command. So now we have run the command. Now next we will check the log to see if the code has been run correctly or what message it has printed. So we have seen that it is showing dataset work.staff has 10 observation and 4 variables. So that means our staff table has been saved in work library, which has 10 rows and 4 columns. So now we have to understand the staff by default saved in the work library, and we'll have to go check the work library. So on your left hand side we have two windows. One is the result, another is Explorer. So once we will click on Explorer window, we have four icons over here. So click on libraries. Now we can see that we have another three libraries in that, and here is our work libraries, and we can see that here is our staff. We'll click it and we see that if data has been generated. So this is the table that we have generated using a manual method. So there are few points that we need to keep in our mind while creating this table. One, that by default it takes the 8-bit from the data. So we can see that all of the values are either 8-bit, or if something is greater than 8-bit, then it will be truncated. So we can go back and check which particular data value has greater than 8-bit. So we can see that second last value, and we can count the character of this name which is greater than 8-bit, and we can go back and check the data set, and we can see that n is truncated over here. So it happened because SAS by default read 8 characters. We also can say 8-bit. Another important point, that whenever it reads the variable from a data, it segregated all the variables by space. So space is by default delimiter of the SAS. So now we have seen that using a manual method we have created a table. So next important part is how can we check this data set once we have created using the data step. So you have just seen that I clicked on staff and then I check my data set. Now I want to view the result of this data set using the command. So we'll use the proc statement. So you can see that it is starting from proc and ends at run. So proc is basically a procedure which is defined by the system itself. So every procedure has a set process which is print. So we'll use the proc print and we'll view the result of a particular data set. So we have given the name of a data as a staff. So that means when we write proc print data equal to staff and then close it with semicolon, and when we run it, it will give the result an output window. So we can see that moment we run it, it is showing the result in output window. So this is how we can create a SAS dataset using a manual method, and once we have created it, we can also view the result using the proc print statement. So this is all for the today. Thank you.